In the glamorous world of showbiz, the dazzling stage lights and luxurious lifestyles sometimes overshadow the deepest secrets. Behind the fame and glory of famous black stars are untold stories, secret children that the public has never known about. They are music legends, actors, rappers, or powerful entrepreneurs possessing admirable talent and careers, but at the same time they carry dramatic and surprising family secrets. In this video, we will reveal 25 famous black individuals you didn't know had secret children. Stories that are little known, but filled with pain, struggle, and awakening. From shocking lawsuits to late confessions, this is the hidden side of the icons you thought you understood. Let's explore these secrets and take a look at the real people behind the spotlight. 25 famous black individuals have secret children that you may not know about. If you've ever been surprised by a story, leave a 1 in the comments. And if you think you already know everything, leave a 0 to let me know. Don't forget to enjoy the video and subscribe to the channel to not miss the next exciting secrets. Jesse Jackson was once an irreplaceable symbol of the American civil rights movement. As a close associate of Martin Luther King Jr., he is renowned for his moving speeches and steadfast actions in the fight for justice. His image is associated with faith, integrity, and dedication to the community. In his role as a pastor and activist, he is trusted by millions as a moral role model in modern society. However, in 2001, a major shock shattered everything. A newspaper revealed that Jesse Jackson had an illegitimate child, Ashley, the result of a 4-year secret relationship with Karen Stanford, an employee in his organization. The child was just under 2 years old when the incident came to light. During that time, Jackson had secretly paid $10,000 a month to keep quiet. But then the truth was exposed. And from that moment on, there was no turning back. The public has turned its back on him. His wife, Mrs. Jacqueline, who has been by his side for over 30 years of marriage, remains silent before the press, but her eyes are filled with disappointment and pain. Political allies are gradually distancing themselves. The Rainbow Push organization, a lifelong pride he built, is beginning to fracture in trust. The speeches that once inspired millions are now mentioned as a bitter joke. A person who once stood at the pinnacle of morality now faces one of the harshest falls. Jesse Jackson was forced to publicly apologize to the media and the public. However, no matter how sincere the apology was, it could not restore his shattered image. The scandal became an indelible stain on his career, pulling him from the heights of admiration to the depths of disappointment and disgrace. A single moment completely changed the political and personal legacy of one of the most respected figures in America. Mike Tyson is a boxing legend who once instilled fear in the entire world with his thunderous punches and relentless fighting style. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, but he is equally famous for a series of personal scandals, lawsuits, and downfalls. Amidst the whirlwind of fame and controversy, there is a secret that not everyone knows. A little daughter living in silence far from the spotlight of her famous father. This is Exodus Tyson, Mike's daughter, with a woman who is rarely mentioned in the media. The girl grew up quietly, not publicly acknowledged, not appearing in the press, and almost kept hidden from the world knowing about her father. But then tragedy unexpectedly struck on May 25, 2009. On what seemed to be a peaceful afternoon at their home in Phoenix, Exodus's mother discovered the girl trapped in the treadmill, a horrific accident. No one knows how long the little girl struggled before she was discovered. When the rescue team arrived, Exodus was in critical condition, nearly stopped breathing. She was taken to the hospital, but less than 24 hours later, the doctors were forced to announce the heartbreaking news: the little girl could not survive. At that time, Tyson was in Las Vegas, and when he heard the news, he immediately returned, no longer an undefeated fighter, but a shattered father broken by indescribable pain. News spread quickly. Newspapers simultaneously reported on Mike Tyson's secret child has passed away, shocking and grieving the public. In the face of the media storm, Tyson chose to withdraw from the spotlight, distancing himself from the glamorous world he once dominated. He, who had knocked out dozens of opponents, was now left with a broken heart, pained by the loss of a tiny life that had not yet grown in his father's embrace. That tragedy will forever be the deepest scar in Mike Tyson's tumultuous life. Eddie Murphy, a comedy icon of Hollywood who has etched his name in film history through movies like Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, and The Nutty Professor. With a brilliant career, exceptional talent, and a massive fortune, Murphy is always regarded as a perfect star. But behind that glory lies a dark side that has tarnished his image in the eyes of the public. A shocking DNA scandal involving his denial of his biological child. In 2007, Melanie Brown, Mel B, a former member of the Spice Girls, announced that Eddie Murphy was the father of the child she had just given birth to, baby angel Iris Murphy Brown. However, instead of approaching the situation with responsibility, Murphy coldly stated, "I don't know if that baby is mine." That statement struck a heavy blow to Mel B's self-esteem and became a media bombshell that stirred public opinion. Many questioned whether he was intentionally trying to shirk his responsibilities as a father. Mel B would not accept letting her child grow up in silence and denial. A tense legal battle ensued, leading to DNA testing. The results were undeniable, 99.99%. Angel is Eddie Murphy's biological child. Hollywood was shocked. Tabloids reported on the scandal, sparing no criticism of Murphy, from a shining star to the most irresponsible father in Hollywood. The event became the focal point of criticism from both the media and fans. After being forced to pay monthly child support, Eddie Murphy almost withdrew from the media regarding the incident. But as time passes, the shadow of that scandal still looms over his reputation. Money may help stabilize finances, but it is hard to erase the wounds in the heart of a child growing up with the denial of their own biological father. And for the public, that incident will forever remain a difficult stain in the career journey of one of the greatest comedians in the world. Flavor Flav, a hip-hop icon and longtime member of the group Public Enemy, is always known for his eccentric-style oversized clock around his neck and vibrant presence on reality TV shows. Once delivering hit songs and beloved by the public for his humor, Flav is also a figure associated with a series of controversies. But no one expected that in 2019, a shocking secret about his hidden eighth child would finally come to light. The story begins when Elizabeth Trujillo filed a lawsuit in court, alleging that Flavor Flav is the biological father of her son named Quana, while also accusing him of not providing any financial support since the child was born. Until that point, no one, not even loyal fans, had known of Quana's existence. Trujillo is asking Flav to officially acknowledge his paternity and to compensate for tens of thousands of dollars in unpaid child support over the years. public opinion was immediately shaken. Flavor Flav, who once played the role of a devoted father on reality television, now faces allegations of denying his own flesh and blood. But the truth is, even more bitter, as court documents reveal Flav's name does not even appear on Quanah's birth certificate. Once again, public opinion raises the question, is he really the child's father, or is this just a lawsuit exploiting his fame? There is no turning back. The court has ordered a DNA test. The result is undeniable evidence Flavor Flav is indeed the biological father of Quanah. Cornered, he is forced to sign legal documents and take responsibility before the law. But the consequences do not stop there. Flav's image in the eyes of the public has once again collapsed. Fans are disappointed, colleagues have turned their backs, and the name Flavor Flav, once a captivating hip-hop icon, is now associated with a shameful legal scandal. The clock he wears still reminds him of time, but some mistakes cannot be undone. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a symbol of modern boxing with an undefeated record, immense wealth, and an extravagant lifestyle. He appears in the media as the man who cannot be beaten, surrounded by supercars, expensive watches, and all-night parties. But behind the glamour and that perfect exterior is a story that Mayweather has never wanted to reveal: the existence of his biological son, Kron Mayweather. The Kron was born in 1999, but since then Floyd has almost completely ignored the presence of the boy. Not a single photo together, no acknowledgement on social media, no actions showing affection or responsibility. While the world watched him count money and enjoy luxury, a child grew up in the shadows, bearing the Mayweather name, but without a father by his side. Everything was revealed only when Josie Harris, Kron's mother, decided to take the case to court. The released legal documents shocked the public not only because Floyd was avoiding his responsibilities as a father, but also due to the dark picture of family life behind the mansion's doors. The case reached its peak in 2010 when Kron, then just 10 years old, witnessed his father assaulting his mother in a horrific act of violence. The boy panicked and ran to call the police, and his brave testimony led to Mayweather being sentenced to 90 days in jail. Although he was imprisoned for a short time, the trauma that Kron endured is immeasurable. Growing up with painful memories, he publicly criticized his father as a coward, asserting that he would never forgive him. Floyd Mayweather Jr. may be undefeated in the ring, surpassing all opponents with strength and strategy, but as a father, he has bitterly failed. No title can cover the wounds he has left in his son's heart. Al B. Sure is one of the most renowned R&B vocalists of the 80s and 90s. With his smooth voice and emotional ballads, he was once a symbol of love, fame, and stage glory. Fans were enamored with his hits and seemed to know everything about their idol. But there is one thing they did not know: a secret that Al has kept hidden for decades, the existence of his biological son, Devin Brown. Devin was born in 1991, the result of a relationship between Al B. Sure and model Kim Porter, who later became the long-term partner of the famous rapper Sean Diddy Combs. However, instead of acknowledging this son, Al chose to remain silent. There was no official announcement, no father-son photos, and no public statements to the media or fans. While Kim Porter openly raised her children with Diddy, Devin seemed to be erased from all family narratives, living quietly and completely invisible in the glittering entertainment world. For many years, the name Devin Brown never appeared in any discussions about Al B. Sure's family. He grew up like a shadow, carrying the artistic bloodline but remaining unrecognized. It wasn't until Devon stepped into the music industry himself and began to achieve small successes that the truth gradually emerged. The public was astonished to discover that he is the biological son of the R&B legend, a truth buried for nearly 3 decades. A series of questions arise. Why did Al choose to remain silent? Is reputation more important than responsibility? Although there are no clear answers, the truth still leaves a bitter aftertaste. As the spotlight gradually fades and Al B. Sure's career dwindles, the secrets he once tried to keep hidden ultimately become an indelible part of his life story, and in the memory of the son who was once forgotten. Master P, whose real name is Percy Miller, is one of the greatest moguls in the hip-hop industry. Rising from nothing to become a billionaire, he built No Limit Records, a music empire that brought immense power, wealth, and influence. Master P is not only a savvy businessman, but also a symbol of the American dream in the black community. However, behind the bright lights and million-dollar handshakes lies a complex family story where a powerful father decided which child would step into the spotlight and which would remain in the shadows forever. Throughout the 90s, Master P and his ex-wife Sonia C had several children, but only one was publicly acknowledged and built a prominent image: Romeo Miller. Since he was young, Romeo has appeared on television shows, released music, and has been introduced as the worthy heir to the Miller empire. Meanwhile, other children like Mercy and Italy Miller have almost no public presence. There has been no mention of them in interviews, no appearances with their father at important events. They have been pushed into the background as if they were never part of his success story. The truth only began to surface when Master P's family appeared on reality television shows. Suddenly, people saw other children who had grown up without media attention and without recognition from their famous father. Questions began to arise in the fan community. Why was Romeo favored? Why were the other children pushed aside? Family rifts gradually became apparent, culminating when Sonia C filed a lawsuit against Master P, accusing him of exercising financial control in an authoritarian manner and neglecting his responsibilities to the other children. The legal battle between the ex-spouses is not just a fight over money, it is a voice for the forgotten children. Regardless of the outcome of the lawsuit, one thing is clear: the wounds that Mercy, Italy, and their siblings must bear will not be easily erased. Master P may have built an entire empire through music and business, but as a father, his legacy raises significant questions about injustice and the heartbreaking choice who deserves to be loved publicly and who does not. R. Kelly, an R&B icon who rose from a tumultuous childhood, has built a remarkable career with hits that have touched millions of hearts around the world. His sweet melodies and emotional love songs have made him the king of R&B, with a powerful music empire. But behind the stage's glamour and applause lies a deep darkness, a secret that R. Kelly has deliberately kept hidden: his son, Robert Kelly Jr. In 2002, Robert Jr. was born from the marriage between R. Kelly and Andrea Kelly. However, instead of being a widely shared source of pride like many other famous fathers, Robert Jr. disappeared from the public eye. No images, no mentions. Robert Jr. became a faint shadow in the life of his powerful father. While R. Kelly's music career reached its peak, his only son was drowned in silence and darkness. Everything began to change when the serious scandals surrounding R. Kelly were gradually exposed. The allegations of criminal behavior and wrongdoing caused his reputation to collapse rapidly, leading to an investigation and the voices of those involved being heard. Andrea Kelly, the mother of Robert Jr., spoke out, revealing the dark picture of the family. Robert Jr. was not just a hidden child, but also a silent witness to a marriage filled with pain and cruelty. Now, as R. Kelly loses all his glory, wealth, and freedom, the painful truth behind his former brilliance becomes clear: a musical genius who completely failed in his role as a father. Robert Jr. remains a faint shadow living amidst the ruins of a fallen icon, a lost child in the tragic story of his father. DMX was not only a hip-hop legend, but also a symbol of intensity, deep pain, and an ongoing battle with inner demons. Behind the explosive performances on stage and the prolonged legal troubles lies a secret that even the most loyal fans have never known. He has up to 15 children, but the identities of many of them have always been kept secret from the public. Throughout his life, DMX never fully revealed information about his children. Their story only began to emerge when legal disputes arose. One of the most shocking cases involved Sasha Simmons, his daughter with Patricia Trow, a name unfamiliar to the public until the truth was uncovered. No one knows how Sasha grew up, as her powerful father, who sold millions of music records, never appeared in her childhood memories. Her name was first mentioned when DMX was sued for failing to pay child support. The world was shocked to realize she was not the only case. DMX's death in 2021 not only closed a tragic chapter in his tumultuous life. It also opens up an unprecedented legal battle among 15 children, many of whom have never even met their father. They are fighting over the remaining assets, and the biggest question remains: who will be officially recognized? However, one thing is undeniable: DMX left behind an immortal musical legacy. At the same time, he also left a chaotic family with children bearing his name, but who never truly had a father. Amid the dazzling stage lights, the hazy smoke of marijuana, and a series of hit songs, Snoop Dogg has always been a legendary icon of the hip-hop scene. People think they know everything about him: his brilliant career, luxurious lifestyle, and happy family. But a secret has been buried for over a decade: the existence of a son that Snoop himself has refused to acknowledge. In 1997, at the height of his career, Snoop Dogg secretly had an affair with Lori Hulman. The result was the birth of Julian Corey Briss, a boy who carries the bloodline of a legend. However, from the very beginning, Julian was not acknowledged by his father. Without any public acknowledgement or affection, he grew up in the shadows as if he had no father by his side. Many years have passed while Snoop built the image of the perfect family man, a devoted father beside his wife and legitimate children. Julian remained an invisible shadow. No photos, no public appearances. That boy was never considered a part of the large family that Snoop painstakingly constructed. His name became well known, but recognition never came. Until 2007, a DNA test shattered all denials, forcing Snoop Dogg to confront the reality he had been avoiding for 10 years. However, even after being confirmed as father and son, the relationship between Snoop and Julian has never truly existed. Julian chose his own path, standing alone in the world, becoming a living testament to a long-buried secret, a significant crack in the perfect image that Snoop had built. From the dusty streets of Brooklyn to the pinnacle of the hip-hop throne, Jay-Z has built a great music empire, a perfect family with Beyoncé, and a massive fortune. But behind that glory lies a shadow that Jay-Z has never acknowledged, a son he is accused of abandoning for over 20 years. In the 1990s, when Jay-Z was still a young rapper, rumors about an affair with a woman named Wanda Sedithwaite began to spread. As a result, a boy named Ryer Satwaite was born in silence, unacknowledged by his powerful father. However, Rymir refused to be forgotten. Since his teenage years, he has engaged in a protracted legal battle, fiercely demanding DNA testing to affirm his identity and lineage. But this battle is not easy at all. In the face of fierce resistance from Jay-Z and his powerful team of lawyers, every request for DNA testing has been blocked and delayed everywhere. Rymir is not listed in the Carter family tree and does not appear in any financial or public records. He is merely an invisible ghost in the legendary life story of Jay-Z. Year after year, Rymir has persistently fought alone while Jay-Z has chosen silence, allowing rumors to spread. But no matter how many speculations arise, there has never been strong enough evidence to break the fortress of power and absolute protection that Jay-Z has built around himself. This battle for identity confirmation continues like a silent crack in the brilliant life of the hip-hop king. Sean Diddy Combs was once regarded as the king of hip-hop, building a billion-dollar empire and maintaining the image of a devoted man to his longtime partner, Kim Porter. However, in 2006, a heartbreaking secret was unexpectedly revealed, shaking his life and those around him. While Kim was pregnant with twins, Diddy had a child with another woman. The girl named Sarah Chapman, who is little known, gave birth to her daughter Chance Combs, the result of an affair with Diddy. Even more painfully, at that time, Kim Porter was expecting the birth of their twin daughters Delilah and Jessie, who are also Diddy's biological children. When the truth about the secret child was revealed, everything completely fell apart. The years-long relationship between Diddy and Kim suddenly turned into a heartbreaking story of betrayal. Kim, the woman who has always stood by him through thick and thin, had to endure immense pain in the most sacred moment of their lives, when giving birth to their children together. There were no explanations, no apologies from Diddy for her. Their relationship severely deteriorated and ended in 2007 when Kim left him. Chance Combs, the secret child who was once hidden, is gradually becoming an indispensable part of the Combs family. Meanwhile, Diddy, who once had everything in his hands, now faces the chaos. He created a web of children, overlapping relationships, and deep emotional wounds that are hard to heal. If you find this video interesting and surprising, don't forget to hit the like button to support us. And please share this video with your friends and family so they can also learn about the untold secret stories of the famous stars. Additionally, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next exciting and surprising videos. Busta Rhymes, a hip-hop icon known for his rapid-fire rhymes and explosive energy, has always been the center of attention. But behind that glamour, he has kept a dark secret for many years, a daughter he has never publicly acknowledged. In 1998, at the peak of his career, Busta Rhymes had a quiet relationship with Jill Miskelly. Mariah, their daughter, was born into absolute silence. No public announcement, no family photos, no congratulations, and certainly no acknowledgement from Busta. Mariah grew up in the shadows without her father's presence, but Jill would not accept that silence continuing. The legal battle began in the 2000s, when Jill was determined to demand financial support and custody rights. Busta Rhymes was not easily subdued. Instead of facing the situation and resolving it amicably, he plunged into prolonged disputes, pouring money into court sessions rather than acknowledging Mariah. The existence of the little girl was only made public through cold legal documents and tense arguments in court. To this day, the relationship between Busta and Mariah remains a mystery. A father who once denied his own child, a daughter growing up in an endless legal battle, and a secret kept hidden for too long, leaving a deep wound that can never be healed in their lives. Stevie J, the master behind classic hip-hop hits, has collaborated with legends like Diddy, Mariah Carey, and Jay-Z. However, his private life is a chaotic drama filled with lies and buried secrets. In a brief romance with Carol Antoinette Bennett, he fathered a daughter, Savannah Jordan, a being born in silence and anonymity. Months passed, and Savannah grew up in the shadows, ignored and forgotten by her famous father. However, everything changed completely in 2012, when Stevie J decided to join the reality TV show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This decision not only brought him fame, but also exposed all the dark truths of his private life. The turmoil in romantic relationships, the neglected children, and financial disputes have begun to stir public opinion. Carol Bennett is no longer silent. She has publicly criticized Stevie J for his neglect of Savannah. Legal documents have been revealed demanding that he pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars in unpaid child support. Suddenly, Savannah is no longer a secret. Their story became the center of a dramatic reality TV show, a father struggling to rebuild his image, a mother persistently seeking justice after years of silence, and a daughter caught between two worlds, the glamorous world of fame and the harsh world of undeniable truth. Nasir Nas Jones, a hip-hop legend known for his timeless songs about pain and street life, was unable to control the family tragedy unfolding right before his eyes. In 2009, amidst escalating tensions in his marriage with Kelis Nas, welcomed a son, Knight Jones. That moment of happiness was quickly overshadowed by a fierce divorce battle, where the newborn was caught in the crossfire of verbal exchanges and endless disputes. Kelis, who was then his wife, not only filed for divorce but also dragged Nas into a fierce media storm. Every word and action of his was dissected, criticized, and judged. Allegations of infidelity, abuse, and neglect continuously emerged. A deep love suddenly turned into a bloody battlefield where both sides relentlessly tore apart the past, leaving their innocent child on the sidelines of the brutal struggle. The family fell apart in a prolonged atmosphere of tension, and Nas almost kept Knight's existence a secret to avoid media scrutiny. However, as time went on, he became more deeply entangled in legal battles with Kelis, where the child was no longer the center of love, but merely a tool in the custody battle. Kelis accused Nas of abandonment and failing to provide adequate financial support, while Nas struggled to maintain his image and responsibilities. The issue is not just the unexpected appearance of the child, but also the question of why a man with extensive experience in power struggles like 50 Cent would choose to remain silent. Many theories have been proposed. Does he want to protect the child from the dangers of the underground and the media, or was he forced by Daphne to keep it a secret? The hidden truth severely undermines the perfect image of the rap mogul, creating an unforeseen scandal. Sire Jackson, the child who was hidden in the shadows throughout his early years, suddenly became the center of media attention as soon as the scandal was made public. At just 2 years old, Sire signed a modeling contract worth $700,000, transforming from an unknown child into a new icon in the entertainment industry, sought after and pampered. The boy suddenly became the embodiment of betrayal secrecy and the strength to overcome the darkness of a rap mogul. The incident is not just a story about an illegitimate child being exposed, but also a symbol of the hidden aspects of the lives of major stars. 50 Cent must confront his own truth, where the spotlight cannot illuminate all the dark areas of his personal life. That secret child becomes a testament to the pain, the inner turmoil, and the harsh realities behind the glory of a hip-hop legend. T.I., one of the most powerful icons of trap music, was once hailed as a well-rounded man, a successful artist, a savvy businessman, and a model father of a family praised by the media. But behind that shiny image lies a part of the truth that very few people know. In 2001, at the peak of his career, T.I. had a daughter named Deja Harris with his former girlfriend Raniqua, also known as Ms. Nico. But unlike the other children he has with Tiny Harris, Deja is almost hidden from the world, not mentioned, not appearing on family television shows, as if she never existed. As she grew up, Deja did not choose to remain silent. She used social media as a weapon to assert herself, to remind everyone that she is not a shadow behind her father's fame. Emotional status updates and rare moments revealing the inner life of the girl made fans start to question, why is she being kept hidden? Then, in 2019, the real storm hit. In a shocking podcast, T.I. openly declared that he had been taking Deja for annual virginity tests to ensure she is still pure. Those words were like a knife tearing away the moral mask he had worn. The whole world is stunned. International media, human rights organizations, and the online community have all condemned the actions. Outrage is spreading not only because of the serious invasion of privacy, but also due to the obsessive and controlling attitude of a father towards his own daughter. Deja, who was once abandoned, has now become a victim of a public invasion. She has disappeared from social media for a long time, leaving behind millions of questions about the trauma she has endured. Deja Harris's story not only exposes the terrifying dark side behind the glamour of fame, but also touches on a chilling truth. Sometimes it is the most powerful fathers who make their daughters feel the smallest and most invisible. And no matter how many fairy tales the media can create about an ideal family, the secrets will still surface like cracks that cannot be hidden on a picture that is too perfect to be real. Rick Ross, the boss of Maybach Music. The man behind a series of hit songs is a symbol of power, wealth, and a lavish lifestyle in the hip-hop scene. He has it all: $1 million mansion, a fleet of dream supercars, and a carefully curated public image. But in 2017, a shattered piece unexpectedly appeared in that perfect picture. Brianna Camille, the woman who had been involved with Rick Ross, filed a lawsuit seeking child support for a child the world had never heard of, Berkeley Hermes. The truth was revealed like a shock. Rick Ross, who has often claimed to be a devoted father, has never publicly mentioned Berkeley. No congratulations, no family photos, no sign that the girl was ever a part of his life. And as the lawsuit reached millions of dollars, the public began to question, is this the indifference of a father or a desperate attempt to maintain his reputation? The media exploded, social media became divided. Rick Ross remained silent until he could no longer ignore it. Under pressure from public opinion and a growing wave of criticism, Rick Ross has finally acknowledged his daughter. However, this acknowledgement did not come from the heart or a touching reunion. It came from cold legal documents stemming from a battle that money cannot buy back lost trust. He has started paying child support, but the image of a man who always controls everything now shows a difficult-to-heal crack. The story of Rick Ross and Berkeley Hermes is not just a lawsuit between two adults. It is the tragedy of a child hidden from the light, only acknowledged when everything can no longer be concealed. In a world where glamour and power can create a perfect image, sometimes the harshest truths come from what people deliberately choose to forget. And in the case of Rick Ross, it is the daughter he once wanted to bury in silence. Ludacris, a name associated with hit songs that shake up the chart's successful roles in the Fast and Furious series, and the image of a successful, exemplary man in the eyes of the public. But behind that glory lies a secret. He once tried to bury a child born out of wedlock coming into the world during a chaotic moment in his life. In 2013, when his long-term relationship with girlfriend Eudoxie was on shaky ground, Ludacris had a brief affair with Tamika Fuller, a momentary mistake that left a permanent consequence: the birth of Kybella Bridges. Initially, Ludacris chose to remain silent. No announcements, no public statements, no acknowledgement. But by 2014, Tamika unexpectedly filed a lawsuit seeking child support. At that point, all the secrets were brought to light. Instead of negotiating or taking financial responsibility, Ludacris responded with a bold move. He filed for full custody, shocking the public. A fierce legal battle erupted, with both sides launching accusations and evidence to prove who was truly deserving of being a parent. By 2015, in a controversial outcome, Ludacris gained full custody of Kybella. With a strong team of lawyers, he overcame Tamika, the single mother without strong financial resources. While many praised him for stepping up to care for his child, there were also plenty of doubts about whether this was a genuine act of love or just a strategy to avoid paying thousands of dollars in child support each month. Kybella grew up under the roof of her famous father, a man who never mentioned her in his speeches or social media posts. Her story is not just a lawsuit between two adults, but a testament to the truth fame and money can change the fate of a child, turning their presence into a pawn in the power game of adults. The Game. A rapper known for his bold style is unafraid to showcase his lavish lifestyle and personal clashes, but he once hid a dark personal secret. In 2010, at the height of his career and amidst complicated relationships, he secretly had a daughter named California Dream with Tiffany Cambridge. Instead of acknowledging his responsibility, The Game chose to keep his daughter's existence hidden from all media, allowing fans to only know about his two older sons. California Dream seems to have been forgotten, unacknowledged, absent from interviews, as if the girl had never existed in the grand world of her famous father. Her voice lives quietly in the shadows, erased from the public narrative that The Game has constructed. But even the deepest secrets will eventually be revealed. In 2012, The Game and his wife participated in the reality show Marrying the Game, where an illusion of a perfect family was created for the public. Then amidst the lights and cameras, California Dream unexpectedly appeared. The girl stepped into the genuine spotlight, tearing apart the carefully crafted facade. Her presence was not only a television shock, but also a clear revelation of the intentional silence and the choice to keep secrets by her father. Immediately, public opinion surged. The Game no longer held the powerful voice it once did, but had to face the reality that reputation and personal image could vanish in an instant. California Dream is not just a hidden child, but also a living testament to the profound contradictions between power, truth, and responsibility. And in the reality show, the girl is the clearest evidence that behind the glamorous praise lies the harsh price of silence and concealment. Lil Wayne, a rap legend with a series of chart-topping hits and a notoriously extravagant lifestyle, kept a significant secret in his life: a son named Dwayne Carter III. In 2008, when his career was at its peak, Dwayne was born, but there was no mention of him from his father. While the audience only saw Wayne on stage under the flashing lights, the young child lived in the dim light of obscurity. For many years afterward, Wayne continued his life as if nothing had changed. Luxury cars, great songs, parties, and high-profile collaborations. His son remained silent, not appearing in public, and the name of the mother, Sarah Vivon, remained a closely guarded secret. No family images, no parenting stories on social media. Wayne seemed safe in his shell of power. The explosive moment came unexpectedly when Lil Wayne publicly mentioned Dwayne Carter III for the first time in a shocking interview. His admission left the public in disbelief. No one could believe that the rap king had kept the existence of his biological child a secret for so many years. The question, why did he keep this hidden, quickly spread. Was it out of fear of affecting his superstar image or due to pressure from the mother? Is this public revelation the awakening of a father finally accepting himself, or just a reluctant response to the overwhelming wave of media and public opinion only Lil Wayne truly understands? But one thing is undeniable: that secret has shattered, and Wayne must live with this new legacy, both on stage and in his personal life. Bow Wow. The former child star who once rocked the hip-hop scene with his vibrant style and lavish lifestyle grew up in the spotlight where every move was watched by the public. But behind that glamorous image lies a big secret he has tried to hide for many years. Amidst the partying and a dazzling career, Bow Wow is living a double life, a carefree celebrity and a silent father who dares not acknowledge his child. In 2011, rumors spread that Bow Wow had a child with model Joy Chavis, a girl named Shay Moss. Instead of confirming, Bow Wow chose to remain silent. He declined interviews, avoided questions, and continued to present himself to the public as a fun-loving single. While Joy raised their child alone, the entertainment industry remained skeptical. Was this the truth or just another rumor like many other scandals? But the pressure continued to mount. Public opinion demanded the truth, and fans began to lose patience. Eventually, Bow Wow was forced to break his silence. On his personal website, he posted an emotional letter admitting that he is the father of Shay Moss. The confession was like an earthquake in the showbiz world, not only because of the shock of the child's existence, but also due to the way he had tried to keep it a secret for so long. The question remains unanswered. Is this the true maturity of a father, or just a forced move to maintain a crumbling public image? Regardless, Bo. Wow's double life has been exposed, and now the child he once denied has become the center of attention. The clearest evidence that the truth cannot be buried forever. Future, the famous rap superstar with countless consecutive hits, always appears as a model of success and a life of unlimited luxury. On stage and in the public eye, he is a symbol of power and ascendance, but behind that brilliance lies a secret kept hidden for many years. A son named Jacoby, born in 2002, whom he has never acknowledged. For a long time, Future chose to turn his back, refusing to take responsibility as a father, leaving the child and its mother to live in the shadows. The secret seemed safe until 2013, when Jessica Smith, the mother of Jacoby, filed a lawsuit for child support. The DNA test results confirmed that Future was indeed the child's father, shocking the world. But the bigger shock was yet to come. Jessica accused Future of intentionally misrepresenting his income to evade financial obligations. While Future boasts on television about always carrying $25,000 in cash, Jessica is fiercely fighting to increase child support for their son. The lawsuit has become a media focal point, transforming Future from a music legend into the image of a negligent father who deliberately avoids his responsibilities. Once an undeniable force in the music scene, Future is now struggling with the biggest scandal of his career. The endless legal battle has severe consequences, shaking his reputation and leaving a deep mark on the darker side of fame in the eyes of the public. Chris Brown, a global pop phenomenon, shocked the world when the truth about his secret child was unexpectedly revealed. For 9 months, no one knew that he had a daughter with Nia Guzman, the woman Chris kept as one of the deepest secrets of his life. Royalty. The child born in darkness became the center of an unstoppable media storm when the news broke in 2015. Not only was this a child, but it also posed a challenge to the perfect image that Chris Brown had built over the years. His longtime girlfriend, Karru Tran, was the first to discover this painful truth. Not from Chris's mouth, but through the news stories spreading everywhere. She ended the relationship, immediately cutting off all contact as an unforgivable betrayal. The internet exploded with fans, the media, and public opinion continuously making comments and judgments that made Chris Brown's life feel like a nightmare. But the turmoil didn't stop there. Nia Guzman, the mother of royalty, not only demanded custody, but also requested a staggering child support amount of up to $15,000 per month, a significant financial pressure for a star once known for his free-spirited lifestyle. In just one day, Chris Brown went from a rebellious troublemaker, carefree and without any sense of responsibility, to being thrust into the public spotlight as a father. From this point on, his life took a completely new turn, becoming a man responsible for his child under the constant scrutiny of the media and fans. Drake, one of the most powerful and sophisticated rappers of his generation, has always controlled his image with almost absolute meticulousness. However, in 2018, his deepest secret was exposed in a relentless rap battle. Pusha T, a bitter enemy, revealed the existence of Adonis, the son Drake had with Sophie Brousseau, a former adult film actress with just a few ruthless lines. The information exploded like a bomb, shaking the entire entertainment world and its fans. While Drake remained silent amid the media storm, the buzz and speculation continued to rise. There was no turning back. All eyes were on him, waiting for an explanation or reaction. In the end, Drake responded in the only way he knew how, through music. The album Scorpion was released shortly after with a silent, profound, and emotional confession. "I'm not hiding my child from the world. I'm hiding the world from my child." With that statement, Adonis was no longer a secret, but became an inseparable part of Drake's life and career story. This moment changed everything: his reputation, career, and how people perceive him. From a star who always kept his private life secret, Drake now has to face the truth head-on under the spotlight of the world. The truth will eventually be revealed. That is a painful but unavoidable lesson in the world of celebrities. They may try to hide, they may try to run away, but the public will ultimately see everything. The life of a celebrity is not just about the dazzling stage lights and hit songs, but also about the complex stories behind the scenes. The secret children we have just uncovered are not only a mystery, but also a testament to the challenges, the pain, and the growth of the stars we thought we understood completely. They are also human-facing responsibilities and mistakes, and sometimes these secrets serve as a reminder of the value of sincerity and courage in life. No matter what, these stories help us understand that behind the spotlight are the colorful and emotional pieces of everyday life. Which story impressed you the most? Please share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next exciting videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the untold secrets